Welcome, everyone, to another short little video here with Reincarnated as a podcaster.
Very heartfelt moment.
Very heartfelt, here to talk about all those OTPs that you guys yearned for but never happened.
We got your top 5.
Yeah, we're I don't know. We found a random article. It's
we found Kotaku's top 5.
Kotaku's top 5.
I don't know if we did that on our last one. What a shame.
Couples that never came together in animes.
Does the first one count? I don't know.
A is an anime.
Are we, is that the debate? Is this whole video just going to be that debate, or whether or not you want to classify Avatar: The Last Airbender as an anime?
Well, before we get to the top 5, do you have any on the top of your head that you can think of?
That didn't come together.
They didn't come together.
The only ones I can think of would be probably
Sora from Digimon.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Misty and Ash, or Ash and the 300 other girls.
Except for the one.
Down.
What about the Team Rocket dudes? What are their names?
Oh,
James and
Jesse
and James.
They didn't get together unless they were related, and that's weird.
No, they're not related.
Then what the fuck?
They definitely fucked.
They didn't get together?
I don't think.
I thought it was implied.
I always thought it was implied too.
Oh, it was implied.
I don't know. It's one of those they don't say it.
It wasn't explicit.
Yeah.
So like,
I've seen a lot of parts where they do get together, but it's on other websites.
It's somewhere else by different creators, not necessarily canon, but.
But is there any that you can think of? All the ones I can think of would be harems. Obviously everyone has a best girl.
Yeah, and that one just wasn't picked.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like every childhood friend ever.
But I can't think of any that are just like straight romances that just didn't get together, or like they're side characters in the show.
Yeah. I like the Toradora dude with the other girl.
Yeah, but you just like the other girl.
Oh,
that's a fair one too.
with the OG.
Yeah, the childhood friend, but they never win.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
But this should be renamed as which childhood friend should have been with the OG character.
I feel like I do feel like this is gonna pull more from shows that wouldn't be classified in either the romance / like harem kind of genre.
Yeah,
I feel like they're gonna pull for your shonens and stuff like that. Just
where they kind of just don't imply it, or they imply things but don't.
Or I mean, a lot of shonens are very explicit on when people come together and stuff like that, especially near the ends of their runs, right? And obviously, you've been with a show for fucking ever at this point in one of those, and maybe your best girl's not the one who makes it, and that's basically what it is.
We'll find about Kotaku's.
So which rent-a-girlfriend girl do you think should?
Which girlfriend?
Oh my god!
Girlfriend.
Oh,
the one you said they all win.
Oh, okay.
The one you said they all win.
Okay, number 5 is Zuko and Katara.
Which
I mean, I've always seen that.
I
get it. I get where it's coming from, right? I understand.
I did ship them.
Who does she get with?
Aang.
Yeah, I can see that too, though. But I think it's more of like a.
Dude, that dude is 112 years old.
So I've seen lolly vampires that are older than that. But I can see both ways. I've always heard the Katara and.
I feel like the Aang Katara was kind of forced.
I think that's the one time where you'd almost argue they've been together the whole time, like almost childhood friend. They've just been together. That's how I pictured it.
I feel like it's just your traditional. I mean, whether or not this is an anime, I don't know. You guys can fight it out later. But under the assumption that it is.
He said it is, guys. He said it is.
To make this list work. I mean, I understand why they did it the way they did. Obviously, the idea of pitting your main character with your main love interest is obviously the way it's going to go. Yeah. Whether or not,
screen time
or whatever, or even what you would perceive to be chemistry. And I can understand the appeal of wanting to go the Zuko route.
Yeah.
I mean, he does have a very good arc and stuff, and everyone, I think there's a lot of people or a large community that like the age-old trope of the villain the hot villain that becomes good,
and
pair that with the character. But I feel like a lot of that is just everyone's internal preferences at the same time as well.
Give him a chance, my boy Zuko changed.
So what you're saying is the best pairing in this show, because we don't know if it's an anime, is Zuko and Aang.
Because I do like who Zuko ends up with as well.
The green from the green tribe, right?
No, that's who Sokka ends up with.
Well, that's Saga.
The other assassin,
He ends up with the emo chick.
yeah.
Emo fire. Who's
yeah,
with the acrobat?
Yeah. That's a fair one
She
too.
loyal, dude.
Yeah.
She loyal.
Uh-huh. And I understand. Like, I really like who he ends up with as well. And I feel like as much as I love the idea, or as much as so many people love the idea and the excitement of two big personalities clashing, which I feel like is what Katara and Zuko are, I do feel like who he ends up with is probably better for him in his arc because it helps him so much in his arc.
Yeah.
I do agree with that. Yeah.
Fair.
So, and I feel like the pairing in here and everyone that goes, I think it's more of a personal preference and maybe individual kinks and stuff more than the actual writing.
Yeah. Which is probably what this
My
is.
boy Sokka, the Riz master, dude.
So what would you pair this with? As in, oh no, sorry, wrong episode.
Yeah. But that's how I feel about that one. I can understand where people are coming from. I can understand why you would want this way and why it's popular.
It's probably it's the one I know.
And I still don't. And I personally also don't think that the Aang Katara thing is the best either.
It's fine.
But it makes sense.
Should have been Sokka and Zuko.
So anyway, what's number 4? We're on this for 12 minutes.
4 was Ichigo and Rukia from Bleach.
I have not seen the show.
About this.
You seen Bleach, right?
No.
Oh, you're not a Bleach fan?
No.
I've never even seen Bleach.
Fuck.
I don't know why he's Bleach. His hair is orange.
I assumed they were together from, just clips I've seen about the show.
Does he not get with her?
I guess not.
Who's he get with
article. Who knows? Nami.
That's the wrong show, sir.
Oh shit.
Oh,
bad.
different character.
No, this is
This is Bleach.
Yeah, it is Bleach. Yeah, but I always thought they were together.
Same.
Well,
I just wonder if this is one of those shows that just doesn't have like I wouldn't bother. It's almost over.
does he have a love interest?
I fucking I know.
Who
I thought
asking? I don't know who the show is.
Okay.
Oh.
Number 3 is Rem and Subaru. She fits in the car pretty well.
What?
The Subaru.
Yeah, I get this. I mean, if I'm gonna be honest, Subaru doesn't deserve Rem, but
Rem is
and
too
wait,
good for him.
Who's that?
Oh, fuck you, dude.
That's fair. That's fair. So you're saying
He's never going to see it. And the further the show goes, because I think they announced another season, the further the show goes along, the less likely it is that he's ever going to fucking see the show.
Never seen it.
Never will.
I don't think Subaru deserves anyone.
No. Well, I don't know. Like, after the second arc, I do feel like him and Amelia kind of fit. They're both kind of like
bullshit.
They're both kind of shitty.
Yeah.
Rem's too good for him. Run.
They deserve each other in that weird codependent relationship they'd probably be in.
Number 2.
Nana. I agree with.
Hachiko, what the fuck?
No, they're both Nanas.
Oh.
They just, for some reason, used her last name.
Tell us.
The Yuri couple?
I agree with this one. I always thought they were going to get together, but this show's pretty damn dark because she gets with the bassist and then...
So they're both bandmates. Or is she like a groupie?
No, she's a groupie. She finds, like, they become friends on a train, blah, blah, blah. You think they're going to fuck. They never do.
So it's so what you're telling me is Yuri bait.
Yeah.
Is Yuri bait. Ooh.
It's Yuri bait with a very dark, depressing story along with it. And then, I always thought they should be together, but I never finished. Like, I don't think the anime finishes, like, the story.
Oh.
I haven't finished.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's a lot of episodes, though.
Yeah, I know. It's a long show. I remember it being long.
Well, I could be wrong. I don't know. It's also, like, 10 years old at this point, and my brain doesn't remember
been a
more
while.
than, like, yesterday, so.
Should they end up together?
Easily. Yeah.
Easily. Number 1. I've never seen the show.
Same. I know who one of those characters is.
It's from One Piece. Isaiah. And Nico.
It's just fucking Hassan.
That has Hassan in it, or a boy.
I don't know who these people are.
I don't know who Isaiah is.
Shows Show me
If you
Isaiah.
agree, if you seen One Piece,
This is our worst video yet, guys. We don't know half the people.
I don't know who this is.
We've seen 3/5.
Yo!
That's better than half.
That's better than half.
That's better than half.
As people that watch a lot of anime, we haven't seen a lot of anime.
No, we just haven't seen a lot of really long shonens.
That's fair.
Because if you go under my list of things that I have not seen, the majority of them are just really long shonens.
It was an okay list.
I don't feel like it's bad. It's just stuff.
It's aight.
But I also can't think of anything better, personally.
Yeah.
And sometimes I always thought they were together. So it was just like, oh.
It's just standard.
It's like your brain just automatically classified them as like, oh, they end up together at some point.
Yeah.
Like, they might not say it. The manga ended. Maybe they didn't get with anybody. They're like,
Maybe.
yeah, they probably got together.
Yeah.
I can see that.
I watched enough fanfics. Who cares?
Yeah. Well, who are your top 5 couples that should have gone together?
Can you think of 5?
Is Avatar an anime?
Avatar and anime.
I was gonna say, can you think of 5 that aren't harems? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Or romances?
I feel like romances, they always get to them at the end.
I feel like romances, there's always like the childhood friend or.
There's
yeah.
there's always the character that
There's
didn't
always
make it.
one other character
Yeah.
that they throw
At
in
least.
for some random reason. I argue once you hit 3, you become a harem. And
Yeah, it kind of goes into that territory. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Here's a fun distinction question for you, right? Here's a fun question. So where do you draw the line
3 girls.
of what you would is 3 girls like before it becomes harem? Because here's the thing, right? Because there are actual shows and stories that actually go true harem ending.
Oh, yeah.
That the majority of what we would consider to be harems do not, because the guy picks someone at the end.
More than 4. Okay, more than 3 girls.
So, because what I was going to ask is like, is it the distinction of how many potential love interests there are, or how many does the character end up with at the end?
No, I think it's how many they start with. Because a lot of shows are based before they're obviously finished, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
it's like when they were writing fucking, I can't think of any harems off the top of my head right now. Help me out. Throw me a harem.
Rent a Girlfriend.
When they were writing Rent a Girlfriend, it's probably like, oh, it's a harem-based show. They're not probably like, it's a romance with 20 characters.
Quintuplets.
So to me, harem isn't the ending. It's about what it's like. It's a romance where
Because it's
everyone
weird to me
likes
because almost
one character.
the majority of like, I feel like a lot of romances are teetering that line.
Oh, yeah.
So that was like, where does that?
I think what it is it's a romance with a lot of girls or a lot of guys
Yeah.
with one love.
One
love.
primary
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave you with this note. Should Shinji have end up with Asuka at the end?
instead of Mari.
Aaron, Mary, whatever the fuck
Mari.
her name is. Yamcha should have ended up with Bulma.
Yamcha doesn't deserve Bulma
He dies.
He does die.
a lot.
Because it's like, if you have like multiple love interests and there's triangles going on, I think that makes it different.
Okay, interesting. All right.
Because otherwise, you could say, "Oh yeah, my romance with 13 girls is just a romance. It's not a harem.
Well, I mean,
They didn't finish it yet, so he didn't get with
no,
everybody."
that's the thing, right? Because you can kind of tell where it's aiming towards a certain area, and who knows, like how some of those mangas end, right? But I mean, there are like actual stories where and stuff, especially in fantasy and some other ones, where there are like actual legit harem endings.
Oh yeah,
where they just get with
but you keep saying
everybody.
endings. See, that's the issue.
Spider-Man have end up with Gwen Stacy.
Sure, if she didn't die.
I didn't even
the
know.
comic,
What
at
the
least.
fuck?
In the comic, at least. I mean, if we're talking about the new movies, I have no idea because I haven't seen the new one yet.
Isn't he? No, never mind.
Also, technically,
His
Miles
Miles
Morales
Morales.
kind of swings the other way
Right.
as far as the comic is concerned.
That's right.
I don't know how.
I don't know how
How
the
does
shows
it-
are working, like how the movies are working things out. But if I remember correctly,
So you're telling
from the
me?
comic, he kind of
telling
is
me
that way.
that if he fucks another Spider-Man, is it incest? Anyway, thank you for watching.
What?
Oh, the age old question of if you were to bone yourself from another universe, what does that classify as masturbation or incest?
So leave that in the comments. We'd like to know.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching.
Put down your couples.
Peace.